Ty that lives inside me. Now the issue is, nowadays when I be meeting women, they be wanting me to be so.
They want you to be Ty.
They want me. I'm like,
They want
you
Ty.
want me to disrespect you?
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect, but I could. But I don't want to do that.
There's a time and a place for that.
I'll give you a list of the times.
Hey.
Not right now.
Not at this
so
dinner.
It does create a little bit of a, I can tell when, but.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley, and I'm so happy you came by. The Queerly Blax Show aims to normalize the everyday existence of Black, LGBTQIA+ individuals through an interview-style series with regular folks like you and me. So every week, a new guest shares their story and unique perspective on their existence as an LGBTQIA+ individual. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe, download, set your reminders to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'm joined today by listen, y'all, the price just went up after this conversation. I just want y'all to please understand that the price is now much higher, okay? We got Jerrie Johnson in the building. Jerrie, tell the people about yourself.
Hello, my name is Jerrie Johnson. You may know me from looking fabulous on Instagram, but even better in real life, which is really this magnificent, actually. I love that. And I also play this character called Ty on a show called Harlem. And I'm just living my best life, really.
Yeah, fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Got the face card never declines. My God. Okay, let's do it, man. You know, I'm over here. I'm just a mother of a 6-month-old, y'all. So you know, I just try to keep it clean. I just try to keep myself showered and bathed. You know what I mean?
Your skin is looking flawless, though.
I appreciate it. All right, well, let's get in your business. Okay. So when did you know that you liked the ladies?
I would say probably in high school. There was this girl that I had a crush on. She played volleyball. Her name was Victoria.
Long legs. She had them long legs.
She was
volleyball.
Fine.
Those shorts.
And everything. Fine. And I don't think I ever said anything to Victoria, but we did have a run-in a few years later. And it was nice. That's all I have to say about that. She married now, so I can't give too much. Anyway, but then when I after high school, I was in a relationship with this guy who was really like my best friend. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I can do this. I'm not straight. I just need some coaching. So it's not
the D for me.
Right, it's not this at all. And so unless it's attached to anyway, not the point. So yeah, it was, I would say I really was in pursuit of women after high school. But I would say like I really got my like queer identity when I lived in San Francisco for 3 years. Like the queerness there, the Black queerness there is unmatched, and the conversations that they're having about queerness, about sexuality, about identity, it's like so far ahead of any conversations that I've ever had anywhere else. And so I really got to know myself at a deeper level and to create language around like what kind of person I am, what kind of people I like, how I identify as a non-binary, non-monogamous baddie, you know. But I was able to get those tools in San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh yeah, San Francisco. I'm in LA. Those major like metro areas. Yeah. I always talk about how important it is to find like to find space for yourself in like those big areas. Where are you originally from?
Philly.
I'm from Jersey. Trenton. Yes, sir.
South
Trenton, New Jersey. I think that's considered central. Trenton is like, yeah, it's closer to Philly, but like we like 40 minutes from Philly. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, no, the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? The vibes is always good. But yeah, no, Philly is Philly's come a long way.
Yeah, you gotta find your pockets in Philly. I haven't like spent a lot of time exploring the Philly queer scene, but like in college, when I would go back, I would like, you know,
Where'd you go to school?
Voyeur. I went to Penn State.
Oh, Penn State. Okay, I was gonna say that's like Temple.
Yeah. I was not staying in Philly for college. So I was a different bitch.
Yeah, Penn State is always. Yeah, that's interesting too. Because Penn State, how was, because you, okay, so you started kind of coming into it in high school. How was that at Penn State? Because Penn State's like, you know, PWI and kind of like, how was that space there?
It was interesting. I have nothing against Caucasity and Caucasian women. It's just not personally my preference. And so it was interesting. I think I had more. I don't really like to date in school, honestly, because I don't like to date people that know other people that I know. I know it's weird, but I don't like things to mix and mingle. Yeah, and the queer community can get really, really small.
Oh yeah.
And so I probably didn't like try to date until my last years at Penn State. But you know, I was, you know, doing my little thing. But what I felt was like I had mostly male friends and they would get intimidated. I could just like be talking to a girl for three, asking her if she want to drink or like where she get her dress
like
from.
Jerrie about to put that sauce on her. Jerrie about to put that. Jerrie about to put the sauce on her.
I'm not even doing anything. Man, I can't talk to nobody. I'm like, wow. I won't speak. How about that?
They go Jerrie about to. She ain't even about to look at us, y'all.
Precisely. That's how it always was, and I'm like, I don't know what that is because I'm not intentionally.
It's the sauce, man. It's the sauce. They know. They like, oh, she not about to fool with us. After Jerrie go over there and smile in that girl face, it's over.
Precisely.
Yeah. So talk about your look over time. So like, you're obviously like transitioning in your identity and like figuring out like, okay, what is this? You know, for me, how has your look changed over time as well?
So I love fashion. I love like how transformative fashion can be, like hair and makeup. I used to do hair in undergrad as well. And when I moved to the Bay, I felt like my high femme look was doing me a disservice because I'm really a nigga inside, you know? And so it was
all day.
When I finally was.
What up? It's your host, Ashley, and I'm interrupting this podcast to ask, are you following us? Have you downloaded the podcast? Are you subscribed to us on YouTube? If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on all platforms, Queerly Black. I'm going to let y'all get back to the show. Peace.
Like, okay, I wanted to be a hoe for the summer of 2017. Okay, I was like,
specifically 2017.
I have to do it at least once. Yeah. And so I was on Tinder and people are like, are you just here looking for a threesome with your boyfriend? I'm like, no, bitch, I want you to sit on my face.
Without him, how about that?
Exactly. And so it was like, I'm like, you know, everybody was like, either I'm straight or like, maybe my beauty makes me a little unapproachable or intimidating. And so it was an interesting thing. And then the kind of people I was attracted to, it was just like, and so I had a moment where I was like, should I like mask it up a bit? And I talked to my friend Sean, and he was like, you know, if people don't like you for how you present, or if you don't feel like, you know, then that's not your problem, you know? And so I think when coming into like 2019 is when I really was like in this more androgynous pocket once I graduated from grad school. Because in grad school, you don't really have an identity, right? Yeah. Like I'm not dressing up all the time, but like getting out of school, I'm like, oh, I can really figure out where I live. And so then when I did the show, the first season, I was like, oh, wow, I got to know more about different types of fashion, what looks good on me, what, you know, in a more masculine way, which felt so comfortable too. And so then I started to, you know, to fill out that side of me, and it feels like a true expression of who I am. And And then now I feel like I've been hitting the scene with lots of high femme looks, which to me is like, okay,
belly be out, y'all. The belly be out. Two piece, bikini. What we doing?
Everything.
Okay.
And I prefer to like, you know, switch it up. And I have conversations with my stylist about this. But then every time she puts me in something, I'm like, but this is fire. But I did say that I wanted the next look to be more masculine, but this is fire. And so for me, at the end of the day, I'm like, if I look good in it and I feel good in it, it's going to be what it is.
Yeah. No, it's giving very high femme, high fashion. It's fire. Y'all go check her Instagram out. It's lit. Yeah. So 2 things I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the show in a second. Your identity. So you kind of alluded to a non-binary, androgynous kind of space, right? How did you arrive there?
Because I never feel like a man, right? But I don't always feel like a woman. Like I don't always identify with being a woman. And my
I feel that. Friends, I get that. Yeah.
My friends call me the butch queen, right? Because I have like this system, like gay men, child.
Love it. Love Jerrie. They all want some of Jerrie.
Okay, I'm like, y'all, I can't be your boyfriend. I'm so sorry about that. I cannot be your boyfriend, sir. But I just feel like there's something in the in-between. There's something in the fluidity. There's something, there's a bigger conversation internally being had that's not really like in man or woman or she or him or anything like that. And so I feel like with my androgyny, I'm able to move in a more free way that's not in the binary, that's not in the construct. And I feel like I make fuller decisions from that standpoint, right? Like, cause I'm not like, oh, wow, this isn't, you know, I'm not being a lady, or this is not feminine enough, or this is too, you know, whatever. I'm like, I am not anything, really. That's why I just don't feel like anything. I'm just an entity here for, you know, the experience of me is just a whole nother thing. And so I can't be my fullest self, especially with all of my identities on this soil in this country, without breaking free of the constructs that were given to me. You know, I'm always asking why do I have to identify as a woman, or why do you think I'm a woman because of how you see me? You know, that's more about your perception, rather than like how I actually identify.
Yeah. No, I love that. So then how does that work for you as an actress, right? Because there's, and I talked to Amanda about this a couple weeks ago. Amanda Grace Jenkins. If y'all haven't seen her interview, go check it out. We were talking about this. So we had a good conversation around being an actress and, you know, what that looks like. And obviously, you know, her look has changed over time. She was very, very feminine. Now she cut her hair. She's got this whole other look going on, and just being typecast and like what that looks like. And I'll pitch you the same question just about, as a queer actress, or, you know, what does that space look like for you? And I asked her, you know, I'm like, you know, if 50 Shades of Grey came and they like, hey, you know, we want you to, you know, play, you know, Anastasia. What is that? What would that look like for you?
I think in terms of my work, I can do anything. I don't want to do anything offensive. Like play somebody from a marginalized community that doesn't have enough information for us to be playing with it like that. Like, I wouldn't play a trans woman or something like that, right? Because we don't have enough, there's not enough work being done, and trans women are already being marginalized, or trans men, right? And so that would be like I would have to have a conversation with myself. I think I would more likely play a trans man than a trans woman, but I would have to have a conversation with myself about like, what would that mean for me, and what does that mean for the community, and what conversations am I having around that? And I think there's enough queer roles being played by non-queer people that I can play Anastasia in 50 Shades of Grey, you know? I don't mind. I don't want to be put in a box where it's like, okay, we're only seeing Jerrie playing queer characters, but I'm glad I got to start my career playing a queer character that's like something that we've never seen before. And now that I've done Ty, I don't ever have to do anything like Ty again. I wouldn't mind it, but that's just not the direction I need to go in, because I've already shown that pocket. And so,
what up? It's your host, Ashley, and I'm interrupting this podcast to ask, are you following us? Have you downloaded the podcast? Are you subscribed to us on YouTube? If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on all platforms, Queerly Black. I'm going to let y'all get back to the show. Peace.
I want to do all types of stuff. I'm really curious about playing gender bending and playing in things that people didn't expect a woman to play in, not even playing a straight person or a queer person. Like, that doesn't even matter to me, but playing like, oh my God, they wanted Denzel for this, but Jerrie's playing it. And I'm like, really? You know, and at the beginning of Denzel's career, I forgot who the white actor was, but he was like, give me all the roles that he denies. And now you see this Black man playing roles that would have been played by a white man, you know? And similarly for me, I want to play roles that you might have thought, you know, oh, I would have thought that this was, or where they originally thought that the role was going to go to a man or a male identifying person, and it goes to me. And so I'm wanting to do all of the things if it's pushing the conversation forward. I don't want to do nothing frivolous, and I don't want to play any stereotypes. No stereotypes of Black people, no stereotypes of queer people, no stereotypes of women.
I love that. Well, Ty is definitely not a stereotype. Actually, Ty, you know, Ty gave some sex scenes that was more giving baby boy. Okay, Ty had some serious situations happening on Harlem. Talk about that experience for you, playing that character. More specifically, Ty's character is more masculine than you in real life. And I don't think that people understand that, like that they understand, like, because even like I saw the character and I was like, man, like I love this character. Then like I see Jerrie in real life and I'm like, no, she looks different, right? But it's like such the line, or like the space is so fine, right? Talk about the difference between you and Ty.
Well, first of all, I think I'm a little bit more spiritually connected, or maybe emotionally connected, than Ty is, right? Ty is like working from her brain 24/7. We're gonna go get it, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be what it is, kind of thing. And I love sitting in that center, but when I am filming, you might get a different version of Jerrie. I might be leaning more on that side, but I feel more, I'm a little bit softer in all ways than Ty is. Ty is a little bit more hard. She's a little bit more closed. She's a little bit more not as it's not rigid, but she's not as fluid in a lot of ways, because she had to be in order to get to where she is, in order to have like left her family and created a whole new life there. That like hardens you a little bit to be in a male white dominated industry and to be rocking it, you know, that hardens you a little bit. And kind of puts you on this track that can be seen as one track minded. And so I would say, what I say is, you know, Ty is a Capricorn, Jerrie is an Aquarius, okay? And so it's giving very earth, giving very air over here. And so I think about those things, and Tracy had said, you know, when she was looking for a character of Ty, and I came into the audition, you know, with the beanie rolled up, with the joggers on, with the, you know, and I remember when I did the screen test with Grace, and she was like, we were talking, and then she was like, let me follow you on Instagram. She followed me on Instagram, and she was like, wait.
Oh, baddie.
Right, because I ain't have no makeup or nothing, but I knew that that's what tie required. And so for me, it's like like knowing what the edges are, but also not making her so rigid, not making her, even though like Tracy was like maybe thinking about maybe a more masculine person in real life or whatever, there is like opportunities for Ty to be in conversation about like, what does a queer person look like? What does it mean to be a masculine performing queer woman who is also into fashion, who also visually looks like something, like a model, like a stallion.
Hey.
But it's like, it's also bending what we think about as like maybe a butch or a masculine person. And so I think even though we are different, there is a huge, part of Ty that lives inside me. Now the issue is, nowadays when I be meeting women, they be wanting me to be so.
They want you to be Ty.
They want me. I'm
they
like,
want
you
Ty.
want me to disrespect you?
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect, but I could. But I don't want to do that.
There's a time and a place for that.
I'll give you a list of the times and places. Not right now.
Not at this
so
dinner.
It does create a little bit of a, I can tell when, but also because I am such a fluid person, I have to, when I'm like really choosing to be in it with somebody, they also have to be fluid or understand my fluidity. Because when I'm with a more feminine person, like a high femme person, I get so masculine. Like I'm like sitting, it's like, it's hard for me to
everything
move.
but the peen. Everything but the peen.
And then when I'm with a more masculine person, it can be like my feminine side gets high. And so it really just depends. It really just depends.
So what's your type?
I don't necessarily have a type, but I will say, as I said, I like a person that's fluid. I like a person that's I like androgyny, and whichever way it presents itself. I don't want to be in a queer relationship and be like recreating gender roles, right? Like I want us to be having honest conversations about what we need and when. And so I don't really think I have a physical type, but energetically, I feel like I am attracted to powerful people, like really powerful people. And that power can manifest as like immense beauty or energetic power or spiritual power. People who like kind of like can shift the energy of the room, because I do that. And I feel like when I'm not with a powerful person, they sit in corners. And it's not fun.
You rock the wave with me, baby. Rock the wave with me.
Come on.
Come on, we out.
I'm in the car, you riding on the bumper.
Yeah. Yeah, so with that, you are very big on authenticity. Like that's huge for you. And I watched a couple interviews that you've done over like the time of promoting Harlem and authenticity being like at the center of who you are as a person. How did you find space to be comfortable enough to say like, no, this is like one of my non-negotiables, is like that I'm authentic? Because I think a lot of people feel like to be an actress or to be anything, right? Even our regular jobs, like we gotta find like this character or like this like lesser version of ourselves in order to exist. How did that become like a non-negotiable for you?
Institutional schools pushing up against the patriarchy constantly. I feel like I've been a martyr so many times. Like, this is wrong. Do y'all not see that this is wrong? This is why it's wrong, because I'm seeing things from so many different perspectives. And so in order to do that, in order to like be an activism and be an activist and put my spirit and my body on the line for the liberation of other people, I have to be liberated. I have to be steeped in joy. I have to know myself, because then it's a really thin line. And so I come from a big family. I'm one of 7. My mom was 6'3", like 210 pounds most of my life. You know, she was a stallion before the stallions were stallions. She wore colorful wigs, okay, and would take it off in a second when she was hot. My mom has been on Cops, okay, and she's just like such a huge personality. And so it runs in the family. Like if you sit in a room with me and my siblings, you would be like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah. I get it. You have to have tough skin, but you also have to know who you are and not compromise that, or else you're gonna be a doormat. And so I remember when I was in college, in my first year of college, I was, you know, because I'm from North Philly, I'm from the hood. So I'm like, I'm going to college. I'm the first one in my family to go to college, even though I'm number 5, you know. I don't want people to think I'm ghetto, right? So I'm going to be this certain way. Oh, these white women, I live with these white women, they played with me. They took me through the ringer. Do you hear me? The ringer. And after that, I said, oh, I will not. Because if I came and put my foot down early on,
they want to play with you.
Couldn't play with me. Exactly. But I was trying to be friendly and trying to be that, all of those things. And I'm like, it cost me. It was like,
then once you turned up on them, they was like, oh, don't get defensive, don't like, and you like, oh no, because y'all was playing.
It was so much more insidious than that. Before I could even turn up on them, they had like got restraining orders. Like it was like insane. I was living in this townhouse, and in a month I lost like 20 pounds because they were like terrorized. And then I was like mad at myself because I'm like, at that house meeting, you should have cursed them out. But it was so many things going on behind my back that I didn't know was going on, that then when it came to the surface, it was already too late for me to like get my bearings, because they can pretend, okay?
Oh yeah, oh, with
they
the best of
them. Pretend,
with the best
okay?
of
Oscar. And so, so for me, after that, I'm like, you know, but I think I was a little bit, because I am different. I'm like the black sheep of my family, or the white sheep, or whatever. But I'm more of an intellect, right? And I love school, and I love learning, and I just had an idea about my family. You know, they ratchet, they're ghetto, you know, all of these judgment things. And so I tried to stay far away from that. But then I didn't know that was getting me so far away from myself. And so after that experience, I was like, this is who I am. I can be boisterous, flamboyant, ratchet, ghetto, intelligent, innovative, creative, talented, all of those things in one. And so it's important for me to be those things, so that people who grew up where I'm from, or who come from places like where I'm from, they can know you can be who you are and it's fine. And if somebody doesn't like it, at least you know they don't like you for being who you are, and not them not liking you for you being a version of you that you thought that they would like.
Yeah.
I can't play that game. I can't contort to fit into people's conversations or what people want of me, because then I will be in knots constantly. Everybody wants you to be a version. Everybody want. I can't keep up. And what I can do is to learn me, to get closer to me, to be in deep aloneness and intimate space with myself, so that I can really know, like, oh yeah, you do like that. Or, oh wow, I thought I liked this thing, but I actually was just doing it because I thought it was what I was supposed to be doing. What do you like? What can you explore? I'm always questioning myself and trying to figure out, like, oh yeah, I've been doing this thing, and I did need to do it at first, but I don't anymore. And so I think if we were all a little bit more authentic, there would be a lot less of this like power struggle going on. And I think especially with this Instagram space, the TikTok, you know, the social media spaces, it can create some difficulty. It can create this barrier where it's like you and then the internet, and you're like, well, how can what gauge how much to show or what not to show, or how, you know, and I don't want to fall into any type of like respectability politics, any type of like false pretenses about beauty. You know, I think that we all are beautiful and we all have something to offer. And so it's important for me to let people know it's okay to explore that. And it's important for me to be who I am for all my hood niggas.
Hey man, listen. For the niggas, let's do it. I love that you do that, and the reason why is because even you gave the example of like talking to one of your castmates at Harlem, or the casting director. I'm not sure which one it was, but the way you presented there, and then when she saw you on your Instagram, she was like, "Wait a minute," because she didn't even know that that existed. Like she didn't even know that this like person existed, because queer people in our space, our who we are, is still being developed. And so like those like fine like gray areas of like, oh, like you got the mass energy but you present this way, but you're like kind and you're like nice and you like don't fit it, like you're not like, I love this. Like I didn't know to desire this. Like I didn't know that this could exist. And I think that's super cool. And you know, being from, you know, the hood, being from certain spaces where as a queer person, your identity as a queer person is denied, right? Like you can't even, we ain't even about to get into that. Girl, we got church Sunday, don't even play with me, right? And then you're not, you know, you come from probably non-educated background, myself, first in my family to go to college, and being the oldest. So then there's, you know, that added pressure of like, okay, you're the first to go, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, for you, you know, being number 5, and then, you know, so I gotta get that right. And I always talk about this space of like with queer identity and specifically, and people not feeling comfortable to explore that. I'm like, listen, what y'all gotta understand is we ain't had no money. Like we was broke. We had to go to school. I ain't got time to be dealing with no sexuality. Like I gotta go to school. I gotta get out the hood. I got rent pay, need rent pay. I need books. I need tuition. What you talking about who I'm sleeping with? We ain't even getting to that. Like we ain't got no time for that, right? And then, you know, you give this story about dealing with these white girls and dealing with, you know, what they drama in their house, and you trying to be nice. You like, look, I ain't even trying to come. Like it's so loaded is what I'm getting at. Like it's such a loaded thing, you know, is in not wanting to disappoint your family. You like, okay, I done got this C in this class. I definitely ain't about to go home and tell them I'm queer. Like we're not gonna add the queer on top of the C. Like we had to drop some classes. We might have an extra semester. Like we ain't even about to talk about the sexuality thing. So I love that you laid that out that way, just to show another level of the complexity, like in this space of like, I got to deal with real life plus, you know, my sexuality, and that continuing to be a conversation. So thank you for that. Before we get out of here, we're gonna play a game of this or that. This is all about you. You ready? All right. Sports bra or underwire bra?
Sports bra.
Laundry or cooking?
Cooking.
What you like to cook?
Anything vegan. I can make you a version of anything. I can make it vegan.
Really?
Fried oyster mushrooms are my favorite, with some vegan gluten-free waffles. Please.
Okay, now. All right, now. Day at the spa or watching sports all day?
Day at the spa.
Short hair or long hair?
Short hair. Both.
I know on the ladies, you like that long hair. Hey, lipstick or lip gloss?
Lip gloss.
Sports car, big truck?
Truck. I'm too big for some sports car.
How tall are you?
6 feet.
Are you 6 feet, bro?
Yeah.
I'm 5'10". I was curious. I was like, she looked like she probably about.
You 5'10"?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's funny now. I start seeing people that I've interviewed in person. They be like, "Man, I didn't know you was that tall." I'm like,
yeah, you don't look tall.
Yeah. Big wedding or small ceremony?
Small ceremony.
Stay up late or sleep in?
Sleep in.
Iron or re-dry it?
Re-dry it. I ain't ironing nothing.
I live by the iron. You hate ironing?
I just feel like it's like, what is the point? Either I'm gonna be wrinkled, I'm gonna dry this thing, sitting under the steamer or something. I'm not ironing this. It just feels too much. It's too much time. Sorry.
Pay or have her pay?
my natural reaction.
You be paying.
Yeah.
Jerrie be paying. Like, nah, baby, I got it. You don't need to tell her. You don't need to tell her. The bill come. You be like,
right. And they be like, oh my God, you ain't gonna get okay.
I got something else for you to do. Just don't worry about this bill right now. Just
for real.
Pillow princess or I'm on top. You
I'm
on top,
not
Jerrie.
Oh, never been a pillow princess.
Jerrie on top, y'all. Before we get out of here, one piece of advice for somebody who's on their own queer journey.
Know that it's not going to look like anybody else's, but also know that you can go through phases. You know, it's like how you present doesn't have to be like the things that you're trying to do in the bedroom or whatever, vice versa. And so I would say, like, truly get to know what you like, you know, and have a lot of sex. It just came out.
Yeah. Sex, y'all.
Sex. I'm a very sex positive person.
Yeah.
No, you healthy, consensual, but
right.
I love sex. So, oh my God, I love sex. I do. I love sex so much.
What's your favorite part what's your favorite thing about sex? Foreplay, kissing, the act. What's your thing? The lead up, the tension.
Yeah, I'm a sensual person. So I like all the moments before, creating that tension before, and then just like, I can go for hours. It's really not okay. I have work to do. Why are you having sex for hours, Jerrie?
Have a child, it'll change. You be like, hey, we got to go. Let's go.
You got 10 minutes.
Listen, if you wake up in 2 minutes, I hope you feel good about yourself. If you wake up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just love it. I also think there's a lot that we can learn about ourselves through the erotic. And so sex doesn't always mean, or the erotic doesn't always mean sex, but it also doesn't always mean like your interactions with other people, y'all. Like exploring your, you said what?
Bonus clip, y'all.
Right.
Sex conversations with Jerrie.
Through, you know, pleasure. What is pleasurable to you? You know, I'm a sensory person. I like eating things. I like smelling things. I like feeling soft things. Am I just describing pussy?
Women. I don't know. Yes, very much so. I'm like, you described the woman. Okay, good. We got it. Yeah, no, I like the foreplay. I'm a pleaser. So I just, you know what I'm saying, get you all, you know what I mean, in your feelings. And then, you know.
What's your sign? Are you Gemini?
Virgo.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm a Virgo moon and a Virgo rising.
Hey, when's your birthday?
January 29th. But I'm an Aquarius, but with a Virgo moon and a Virgo rising.
Love that. I don't know all that much about astrology. I'm just a Virgo. And apparently everything that's about Virgos is true about me. So that's yeah. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jerrie, for this conversation. I wish you well. What's next for you? Where we gonna see you next? What we got going on? There's some
things in the
now we can talk about.
Yeah, I'm spending time being creative, you know, figuring out my stuff while some things are in process. So yeah, I wanna do some stuff for us. That's all I want to say.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Jerrie. This is another episode of Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.